Hey folks, this is the Beard Owl Podcast, and we like weird stuff, and we are proud to be an affiliate of the Odd Pods Media Network, where there's a bunch of other creators putting out other weird stuff. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Hi, buddies. Hi, friends.
To a very special episode of the Beard Owl Podcast, the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And since it's a very special episode, my brother's not here because he's not very special, and he hasn't called me out on saying that yet, even though I have told him that I said that, and he went, "Aw." But I have very special people on these episodes with me to talk about very special things. So it's not the kind of very special that you'd get on like Saved by the Bell. You know, nobody's on caffeine pills or anything.
There's no bicycle shop like Different Strokes.
No, nothing like that. Yeah. So, I'm just going to jump in and say this. We're talking about Weird Al Yankovic in 3D from 1984, and I'm talking about that with Brian from Playlist Wars. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I am doing great. I'm really looking forward to this tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun.
You should be. I am too. And I just have to say that I am also excited about the beer that I've decided to have. Now, not everybody who comes on here has to drink with me, which is fine, but I have to. This is what I'm obligated to do. Like, it's my
the name of the podcast. I
right.
think that's in the
Yeah. It's like my blood oath. So I'm enjoying Sparkleberry, which is a raspberry Belgian style ale from Bell's Brewing, and it's delicious. It's like wine but beer, if that makes sense. So I like it, and I decided to pair this with in 3D because Sparkle, right? Every song on this album kind of shines in its own way. So that's my very tenuous connection to the beverage that I have.
And I'm going to suggest to you a New Jersey, not a brewery, but a cider. It's made by Melix. It's out in the area where I live in central New Jersey, and they do a green hard cider that is absolutely fantastic. Ooh. And if you can't find it by you, or if your brother can't find it in PA, let me know, and I'll try to grab a case. I think you could mail it, right? Legally?
I mean, we do. But who knows?
Well, if we can, I want to send one your way because it's probably one of the best ciders I've ever had, and it's made right here in New Jersey on their farms. It's absolutely fantastic.
That's awesome. I'll see if my brother can find some in Pennsylvania and maybe hang on to some for the next time I go up to visit. So
awesome.
Good. I love a good cider. I truly, truly do. But I've talked enough. Before we start talking about this album, do you want to tell the listeners of the Beard Owl Podcast all about Playlist Wars and what you guys are doing? Because I've been on your show, so I'm sure they listened to at least that one.
Yeah, I hope so. And I mean, they obviously did, because you won in extraordinary fashion with that episode, which I am not shocked in any way, shape, or form. But we are called Playlist Wars, and the format of the show is really pretty simple. It's Gomez and I. We've been best friends for many, many decades. Feels like I want to say we're closing on 25. That would be many, many, right? Yeah, 2 decades.
Yeah.
And we're coming on to 3 soon. And we basically bring on a guest to the show, and we pick a band, artist, or topic, and we each create a 10-song playlist based on that band, topic, or artist. And we do a roundtable discussion to kind of plead our cases over why we chose the songs we did. And then we turn it over to our amazing listeners, which we lovingly call the playlisters, because a lot of the people that listen to the show do the same thing we do, only off air. and we let them vote on which one of the three of us, quote unquote, got it right, or to the best of their,
Yeah.
to where they sit with the artist.
That's so cool. It's such a fun concept too. It's, the great part about it is the listening to, you and Gomez and your guest talk about the music, but it makes it interactive too, because, we're all kind of participating in the show. So it's nice. Like, I feel like even before I was on the show, I felt like I was part of your show because I get to participate, which is fun.
That's what we aim to do. We want the show, because the word war automatically has a negative connotation to it, but we've always tried to keep the show a positive celebration of whatever this artist or topic is. So we're not going on there cursing at each other, saying this song sucks, that song sucks. We might disagree with where it sits on the list, or we might have different reasonings for the songs that we choose, but it's all done in a, I guess, healthy
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
And it's done in a fun way because we're all coming from a good place. We're all fans of every episode of the artist or topic that we're talking about. So we're not going in it to like down each other. We're going in it to kind of see why we differ. And it's kind of like a case study each episode, which to me is fascinating.
Yeah, it's super cool. And it's like it's a healthy, positive debate about the music, which is awesome. Before we jump into in 3D, since I have you here, I do want to tell you that the first assignment that I gave my college students this semester, now this is my class that's mostly freshmen and sophomores, was just a discussion post about, there was some other stuff involved, but they kind of had to conclude it with a song that kind of speaks to their worldview and kind of describes who they are and explain why those lyrics speak to them in that way. And as of the date of this recording, I've only had a couple trickle in, but I'm honestly surprised at what I've seen so far. I have, again, these are like 18, 19-year-olds, and one talked about Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears.
Really?
Yeah, and another one went with Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
Okay.
And so I'm waiting for them to trickle in, and I'm going to try and make a playlist out of everybody's song that speaks to them and at least share the Spotify link with all of them. So it's like, okay, this is our class playlist.
That is really cool idea. And I'm sure if any of those students do research about their professor and they learn about Beard Al, if they put a Weird Al, they know they're getting extra points, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I did structure the assignment around Weird Al. I made them listen to a Weird Al song before they they started the assignment.
Oh, that's good. At least it's consistent. I like that. But you see,
Yeah.
for me, I would be looking for the kid who chose Albuquerque. That would be the A+.
Right, of course. Yeah, that's bonus points. Like, you don't even have to come to the rest of the classes. Like, that's it. You've knocked it out of the park
You
already.
passed. You're good.
You pass, you're good. So, because I know we're going to have a lot to say about all these songs, let's jump into the topic at hand, shall we? Like I said,
Sure.
It's Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. It was recorded between October and December of 1983 and finally released to the world on February 28th, 1984. And you have a copy of it on vinyl, don't you? That you're and CD. Look at you. All I
now
did
I
was
had it on cassette. That was my original format, but the cassette slowly met its maker as I played it religiously and endlessly.
Yeah.
I now have the vinyl and the CD, which make up for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in honor of us recording today, on my little stack of Weird Al trading cards, I did put the in 3D card right in the front.
Awesome.
So,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, gotta make sure you do all that. So this is Weird Al's second album. I like to think that this is his first like proper album, in that his self-titled debut album is so raw and like punky almost that it doesn't really reflect what his career would ultimately become.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there's moments on in 3D that he still channels some of that. I don't want to call it manic, but some of that energy from the first album. It's not all of it, but there are moments where he still shows he's still that guy that created the self-titled album. But you could tell that this was where he catapulted to who he is now from this album.
I 100% agree. And I don't think that's better illustrated than with the opening track on the album, Eat It, which is a parody of Michael Jackson's Beat It. This is the song that basically introduced Al to the MTV generation.
And you would not have the Weird Al we all know and love now if it wasn't for this song. This
Yeah.
song put him on the map, and kind of the way White Nerdy re-put him on the map and Smells Like Nirvana re-put him on the map. He always re-established himself generation after generation, because I felt like Beat It established Weird Al to my parents. Smells Like Nirvana established Weird Al to me, even though I already knew who he was, but my generation.
Mm-hmm.
And then White and Nerdy established him to the people that were 10 years beyond my age. And I think that's amazing how his comedy has been able to reinvent itself over and over again, starting with this album.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't argue with how much care and thought he put into Eat It. Not only the song, but the video, how it's a shot by shot remake of the Beat It video, just like riddled with sight gags instead.
The rubber chicken is my favorite moment of that video, just because it's so random. And you know that growing up, when I was watching MTV all the time, because that was like, oh, it's music and it's visual. It's like everything I loved about MTV back when MTV was MTV. And every time Beat It would come on, I would pretty much get disappointed when it wasn't Eat It. And I think that goes to say with a lot of Weird Al's videos over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do get disappointed more often than not when the quote unquote real version comes on and it's not Weird Al. I had a moment at the gym actually just the other day when Who's Johnny by El DeBarge came on, and I'm doing my workout, but I'm singing the Weird Al lyrics like almost out loud, embarrassingly enough.
I was listening to your episode on Polka Party with the Great Song Podcast, and Rob was talking about how he didn't even know Who's Johnny. And I'm on my walk listening to this morning, screaming at nobody, going short circuit, short circuit, short circuit. And he finally goes, and it was in short circuit. I'm like, thank you. And nobody hears me. So I probably look like this psychopath walking around. But that was like, I remember the original for that, but there's a lot of music that Weird Al's parodies introduced me to, and this album has several of those examples.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we don't have to belabor the Eat It point because everybody knows Eat It's great. Weird Al did a great job. He was known as, quote, the Eat It guy for a very long time in his career. And we did an episode on Eat It already. We talked for an hour about just this one song. And I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Did your eyes turn yellow at the end of the episode when you said goodbye?
No, we should have done that somehow. That would have been
That was a nice throw to the Thriller video.
Yeah.
I loved that little Easter egg at the end.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. Again, nothing he does is by mistake or by accident. Everything that's there is there for a reason. All right, track 2. Midnight Star, which is an original, and it's not even a style parody of anything.
No, that's something I was going to say about this album. What is interesting about In 3D to me is it's the album. It features the last original songs by Weird Al, meaning not style parodies, all the way until Polka Party, which I know it's only an album, but Dare to Be Stupid was split between style and regular parodies, and then it included a polka and a cover of the George in the Jungle theme song. In 3D actually had original songs on it, and Polka Party had One of These Days and Don't Wear Those Shoes, which were not just Al originals. And I was actually kind of sad that Dare to Be Stupid's probably my favorite Weird Al album, and I think the one thing it's missing is an actual original song, because Midnight Star is my favorite song on In 3D.
Really?
Yes. Here's why. Growing up, I would always go food shopping with my mom every week. Every week when we were checking out, right in front of my short little stature at eye level was Weekly World News. And I always read the headlines and laughed because they were so ridiculous. And that is actually the publication that inspired Midnight Star. So this song to me was Weird Al singing all the strange headlines that I would see every single week when I would go food shopping with my mom.
That
So
makes perfect sense. Yeah.
yeah, it's just hysterical. And like lyrics like your pet may be an extraterrestrial or hear the story about a man born without a head. I mean,
Like,
just it's so random, but it's so perfect because it's exactly what the Weekly World News was.
yes. Yes, 100%. I always picture, he talks about the Incredible Frog Boy is on the loose again, but you remember Bat Boy, right? On the cover of that. And did you know that there's a musical called Bat Boy the Musical?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and my university theater company put on Bat Boy the Musical when I was in college, and it's literally the story of Bat Boy from the cover of those tabloids. It's like, what?
That's hysterical.
I know. So yeah, this is one of those songs that definitely does you get those mental connections. Like, yeah, remembering being a small child, like, whoa.
Now,
Is
do
that
you
real?
have the permanent record box? I shouldn't even ask.
I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it comes with a book. So if you ever see the old long box in a used CD store, I highly suggest getting it.
I think we had it when we were kids, but I don't have it in my house. It's probably in my parents' house somewhere.
Okay, in that book, it actually says that a Weekly World News article about the Incredible Frog Boy was the inspiration for the song, which is where I kind of put the two and two together in my notes for this.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that's
So,
a logical thing.
yeah. But my favorite part of the song actually isn't any of that. It's the ending with read it, you could read it, you could read it, you could read it,
Oh,
read it, you could read it. I don't know why. I think it's hysterical.
the counter melody at the end is fabulous. Read all about it in the Midnight Star. Like,
Yeah.
it goes down, and yeah, that's very complex at the end of the song. It really is.
There's a lot of different stuff going on, but I always laughed at the guy just coming in. Read it, you could read it, you could read it.
I wanna know. Read it. Yeah, there's a lot happening at the end of that song.
It's just so much fun. It's manic. It's got that song kind of reminds me a little bit of his first album. I feel like if it was put on his debut album, it would have fit in. But the production was a little better. There was a little less accordion throughout in 3D. Probably because it was probably I think I remember
Every song.
reading somewhere every song on the first album had. So I feel like this was his way to kind of say I'm not just accordion boy.
Yeah, for sure. He's the Incredible Accordion Boy. He's on the loose again. Oh, yeah, 100%. And John and I talk about that a little bit when we're talking about the track My Baby's in Love with Eddie Vedder from the Running with Scissors album, where that's the most accordion heavy song he did in a long time, other than the polkas. That's it's because it's Zydeco and it's accordion, which is fabulous. So let's keep trucking through this bad boy. We have what may be one of my favorites on the song, and it's not even because I like the original or anything like that, but track 3 is The Brady Bunch, which is a parody of The Safety Dance by Men Without Hats.
And one of the first songs that I knew this before I knew The Safety Dance.
Oh, same. Yeah.
So when I first heard The Safety Dance, I was singing, you could watch Mr. Rogers, you could watch, what is this guy singing? This sucks,
Yeah, because first of all, The Safety Dance, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. And I think in Al's mind, he took a song that at face value seems relatively meaningless and kind of mashed it up with what, mindless television.
Yeah. And I would love to see you put up a poll on Twitter when this episode launches. And I would love to know your opinion now, though.
Okay.
When it comes to Al taking an established TV theme song and mashing it up with a parody, do you prefer the Brady Bunch or Beverly Hillbillies from UHF?
I prefer the Brady Bunch. 100%. Mostly because I think this one is hilarious because the first half of the song you're not sure where it's going.
Right.
Okay, because he's just talking. This is the first of many songs where Weird Al just kind of rattles off stuff that's on TV. Because he does it on this, he does it on cable TV, he does it on Couch Potato, like talking about
Syndicated Incorporated.
Syndicated Incorporated, yeah, stuff that you're watching on TV. This was the first song that did that, and kind of created that trope. But then halfway through the song, it stops doing that and literally just becomes the Brady Bunch theme song, which helps this song tell more of a story than any of those other ones. Or I would argue it tells more of a story than Money for Nothing / Beverly Hillbillies, right? Because this song, it's like, you can watch all this stuff. Like, it's all crap. Like, you can watch till your eyes fell out of your head. That would be okay with me, but please don't watch the Brady Bunch. And then it's clear in the song what happens is it's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. Like, that person won, and he's forced to watch the Brady Bunch.
Right. I love it. I would pick the Brady Bunch too, but I mean, look, Al's done so many songs about television. There's also the TV comp, the TV album that he has, which is a comp of I'm like 9, isn't there?
There's the TV album and there's the food album. Yeah.
Right. The TV album has all of these songs mixed on it. So I just felt like the Brady Bunch of Beverly Hillbillies took the theme songs and kind of mashed them in with another established hit, which in and of itself, there are hundreds of videos on YouTube of people taking, I don't know, the Bee Gees and mixing it with an AC/DC song and mashing it together. And I love those. They're so much fun.
DJ Cummerbund, he's the best one at it. Yeah.
Yes. And Weird Al's been doing it for nearly 30 years.
Almost 40.
Yeah. And my favorite lyric in this song is a dated lyric that shows my age. Because if I played this for my daughter, she would stare at me with this lyric. But I still think it's funny. And you can use TV Guide to help you decide with a capsulized review.
Yes.
Because I lived in TV Guide growing up to see when, like, Saturday night's main event was going to be on for WWE or WWF at the time, if I'm really talking 80s here. What was on MTV when they were doing the top 20 countdown, stuff like that. Headbangers Ball. I was always in the TV Guide.
Yeah.
And I don't think kids would get that reference now, but it's still, to me, a very funny line in the song.
It is funny, especially, like, you don't get many pop songs with the word capsulized in them. So there's that, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And I think it leads us, it's a good lead into what may be one of my least favorite tracks on this album. Track 5, Buy Me a Condo. It's just a style parody of reggae. Wikipedia is saying specifically Buffalo Soldier, which, like, okay.
I get the vibe of that, but I think he was going for a Bob Marley style reggae, but I guess Buffalo Soldier, because Bob Marley he's not just one sound over and over again. He had a lot of different.
Right.
So I could hear that. I saw that part on Wiki and I was like, all right. But I think to me, it could have also been, a few years earlier, it could have probably been a UB40 song as well. I mean,
could have been a UB40 song. Yeah. It's a little Jimmy Cliffy, Jimmy Cliff-esque. But I don't love this song. We did an episode on this song too, and we actually talked about it much longer than I thought we would. It makes an interesting statement, right? Because, like, the narrator of the song, he's just a lonely Rasta man, and he leaves it all behind to live the early 80s yuppie American
Condo
dream.
life. Yep.
It's a bit of a jaded look at consumerism.
Yes, that I completely agree with. It is not the funniest song on the album. I will say, though, as a song, it's catchy and it's fun. But it doesn't have a lot of belly laughs in it. It's not my least favorite song on the album, but it's definitely down there. But I don't hate it. My favorite line in the song though is "Gonna sell me Bob Marley records, gonna get me some Jackson Brown."
I know.
That maybe because that's a very good comparison. That would fit in with the gets me the t-shirts with the alligator on.
I
Jackson
know.
Brown just screams to that
Yeah, it's
that
true.
lifestyle. So that part made me laugh. But the rest of the song, it's there. It's fun. It's kitschy, but it doesn't like jump out at me. I don't dive in to listen to that one.
Right. Same. Like having talked about the song at length with my brother and uh, having kind of a throwing an analytical lens onto it the way that we did, I appreciate it more than I did. So I don't actively skip it as much as I used to, but it's still not my favorite. I will say, I said this on that episode, but I'm going to say it again to you. My favorite part of that song is gonna have the neighbors over for a weenie barbecue. That's the only part of the song where he loses that affected accent.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me.
Almost like he broke character purposely in that.
Uh-huh.
I think that is very funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, we can keep on trucking because I'm looking at the time and we're like halfway through the album and we're like halfway through the amount of time I said I wanted to talk about this
All right.
efficiency. I like
Yes.
it. Yes, this is good. So I lost on Jeopardy, a parody of Jeopardy by the Greg Kinn Band.
Another song that I knew this before I knew the original.
Same. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've heard Jeopardy by the Greg Kinn Band. But I can't even tell you how many times I've lost on Jeopardy.
Right. And this one, my father and I have a favorite lyric from this song. And it's because I have the microphone. Let me just step up a second and be like, but that's not all. You also made yourself look like a jerk in front of millions of people, and you brought shame and disgrace on your family name for generations to come. You don't get to come back tomorrow. You don't even get a lousy copy of our home game. You're a complete loser.
Don't know what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's
Every time I hear that, it is just hysterical because you watch people bomb on game shows all the time, especially growing up.
mm-hmm.
And this just hit it right on the head where even me as a 7-year-old understood the joke and laughed at it.
Right. This is one of those Weird Al songs that, number one, because Jeopardy has been on for such a long time. And this is obviously referencing the pre-Alex Trebek era of Jeopardy. But I still got this and I still understood this song when I heard it for the first time as a kid. Like nothing was lost on me, where some of his songs, I would hear them as a kid, but some of the references and some of the joke that he was trying to make was lost on me as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still like, Weird Al music is like an onion. Like as I grow up, I see there's more layers and layers and layers and layers to it. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant, But I lost on Jeopardy. We haven't done an episode on that yet, and I'm going to say this here now because I just kind of made tentative plans today. But when we eventually get to that song, John and I are going to have joining us a 3-time Jeopardy champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Katie Sikelski. She's the one who designed our logo. So I knew her before she was on Jeopardy. And I was like, hey, Katie, do you want to come on?
That's perfect.
Yeah. So, man, because like when we started the show, she hadn't been on Jeopardy yet. And so I was already like racking my brain, like, how can I find a Jeopardy person? How can I find a Jeopardy person? And then I knew her and she was on Jeopardy. And I was like, oh, I've got my Jeopardy person now.
That is awesome. I would never go on Jeopardy. My wife, I remember this 2017, we were on vacation and it was that kind of lull between dinner and getting the kids to bed. We had Jeopardy on and we're just relaxing in the room. And they had a category of 80s hard rock and heavy metal bands.
You should know
And
that.
for that, for those 5 questions, I looked like Ken Jennings there. I was just like, I was yelling out the answers before he even finished. What is Motley Crue? What is Poison? What is Bon Jovi? Like, and then it got to like something else, like, I don't know, 1900 Sanskrit. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, duh.
Yeah.
But if you remember in the early 2000s, Jeff Probst, who hosts Survivor, did Rock and Roll Jeopardy. I was dying to try to go on that show back then, 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's amazing. And that's still fun to watch. And I'm right there with you. The music and TV and like movie categories are my favorites. But sometimes I pull stuff out of my ass. And I don't know, when I watch a Jeopardy, I was like, I'll say it out loud and then I'll be like, how did I know that?
How do I know this?
How do I know this? Yeah, I take the test every chance I get, but
well, when you get on and then you become a 3-time Jeopardy champion, we can add that to your title when you come back on Playlist Wars.
That's true. Yes, Lauren Carey, award-winning professor, host of the Beard Owl podcast,
3-time Jeopardy champion.
3-time Jeopardy champion. Yeah. Could you imagine? Oh gosh.
I'm Midnight Agent Raw. And I'm Okami. We are the Super Media Bros podcast. And each week, we give a comedic take on all forms of entertainment, such as movies, music, video games, television, and much more. So put your shades on and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Shades on. We're off.
Let's move on to the polka.
Ah, yes, the polka. Introducing me to a lot of songs that I didn't know as a kid.
Yeah, right? And I'm going to say this right now, too. I think the fact that on the first album where polka appeared, it was in the middle of the album, set a precedent for me that Weird Al kind of broke here and there. I mean, when I was on your show for the Weird Al Yankovic episode, I made sure I put my polka in the middle because that's how the albums should be. And this is the first Weird Al polka. It's in the middle of the album. It's like a palate cleanser. I would guess, right, that if this was on vinyl, I mean, you could probably confirm for me, does this open side 2 or end side 1?
It ends side 1.
Okay. Perfect. As it should.
Even though I'm showing you and nobody could see that.
Well, yeah, this is an audio medium.
Yes, so I was showing you people that were listening.
And side 1. So, yeah, and this, for being the first polka, like I said, it sets a precedent, but let's see if you agree with me on this point. I feel like this is the most, what's the word? Unfocused polka.
Right. It's because of the 45. He had an open slate because all of these songs were put on 45 at some point.
Yeah.
But you're going from 1970s with Smoke on the Water all the way up to Every Breath You Take, which was 84.
Right.
That's a bit, they're not, the other ones became much more focused on that year or the 2 years prior to the album coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The other ones, well, and then, of course, you have Bohemian Polka and Hot Rocks Polka. But Hot Rocks Polka is still focused because it's all Rolling Stones. Bohemian Polka's focused because it's one song. And
But I mean, from Hey Joe, which was the 1960s, all the way to Every Breath You Take, which was new, that's a pretty big stretch.
It's a pretty big stretch. I will say that the Every Breath You Take part of this polka might be one of my favorite.
That is in my notes. I said there's 2 songs that I really want to pull out of this. A hand to God. You and I think a lot alike. I'm telling you. The Every Breath You Take. I can't even do it without
I just love how heavy it is. It's every breath you take.
Oh, God. And then the song right before it, which was one of my favorites as a kid growing up with my parents, Hot Blooded by Foreigner. It's a heavy song. But here you've got, doom, doom.
Yeah.
Hot-blooded, checkered and see. Like as a kid, I loved it, and even as an adult, I love it. It's so perfect. So he was onto something with this song, but he didn't nail it. until I'd say Dare to Be Stupid, when he started, focusing to the
Yeah.
modern songs of the time.
Right. The only problem with the polka on Dare to Be Stupid is the fact that it's at the end of the album.
Yes, it should have been the end of side one, although, if I'm not mistaken, the vinyl of side one ends with Yoda. I don't know if Yoda's a closing the album type song, even though it's a closing a concert type song. So I'm torn on that one.
Yeah,
But
it's tough.
yeah.
It's tough. I mean, there should have been a way to rework that somehow, because the end of the album, and we'll get to it when we get to the end of this album, is that weird, like, for the true fan song. And this album has it. Most of the albums have it. But Dare to Be Stupid ended with a polka. I'm like,
Mhm.
But yeah, this is an interesting little polka. You got Jocko Homo by Devo, Smoke on the Water, and then that really weird Berlin song, Sex.
Yep, I'm a boy, I'm a man,
I'm a little girl and we make love together. It's weird.
But I will say the transition out of that, the hey, Jude. Perfect.
It's perfect. And I love the Inagata Davida bit too, because Inagata Davida is such a heavy song. It's such a heavy song, and then he's like, Inagata Davida, baby, don't you know that I love you? It's yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna show my age one more time. Were you a Wonder Years fan growing up?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay, because Winnie Cooper. I know Winnie Cooper's name and Fred Savage, so I know the actor's name, but Winnie Cooper's always Winnie Cooper.
Danica McKellar.
Yes. They went to a party, and I just remember Inagata Davida being the song playing at this party they were at. And I just remember that scene. And I said to my dad, I'm like, Dad, obviously this show's set a long time ago. Do you know this song? He goes, of course, that's Inagata Davida. You've never heard this? Ooh. And he ran and grabbed the record, and he flipped it and put the whole 18-minute version on.
Nice.
And I fell in love with that song. So obviously it made me go back and reappreciate in 3D when I heard Inagata Davida the way he did it.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I have watched all of Wonder Years though, as an adult on whatever streaming service it may have been on like 3 years ago, because it's just like I never watched it as a kid. I was at like I was a little too young when it came out, and then there was no way to, you know what I mean?
Go back. Yes.
So, but I have watched it because I felt like it was definitely a cultural touchstone that I needed to make sure I saw.
I loved the show. I loved the whole series. I've read rumblings about them rebooting it. If they would have to cast it properly, but I'd be okay with it.
They are. And it's all it's like an African American take on the Wonder Years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to be on ABC. It may be coming out next week as of the release date of this episode.
Oh, cool. I'm going to have to check that out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I literally, that was weird. I pulled that out of thinking that they reboot everything now. I wouldn't be surprised. And sure enough, they were ahead of me.
Yeah, they totally are. I saw a commercial. I think it's on ABC. So, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, you got something to watch now. Because I remember hearing a cover of the Joe Cocker cover on TV in the background of the commercial. So
okay.
Well,
I'm gonna look that up as soon as we're done recording. Now I need to find out more about this.
I know you will. Hey, guess what? It's
Yes.
side 2. It's side 2. Mr. Popeil. Oh, that was good. Yeah, it's a style parody of the B-52s that I think. This is top 10 for me and my brother. When we did our little ranking system, this song is top 10. Flawless. This song.
He nails the style parody on this. Could not have been more perfect. And I love the fact that one of the backing vocalists is Ron Popeil's sister.
Lisa. Yep.
Yeah, that I think is such an awesome tie-in because she is a singer. And I have a personal favorite lyric in it. I don't know why. It's not even, I don't know if it's meant to be funny because it is something he sold, but just the way it comes out, it slices, it dices. Look at that tomato.
I'm glad you said that because that's my favorite line in that song too. Look at
Really?
that tomato. You could even cut a tin can with it, but you wouldn't want to. I also like the line, I want to shine some pennies. Why?
There must have been a gadget out at that time that did that. That's the only thing I could think of.
But why would you want to? Is there a
It-
need?
If someone buys it, I guess there is, right?
I guess. I don't know. It's so silly. This song is great. It's a spot on B-52's style parody, and it's so funny. Actually, as of the date that this is coming out, our Mr. Popeil episode will have been released. So my brother and I recorded it, but you wouldn't have had an opportunity to hear it yet because yeah, so we talked at great length about the song and we dissected Ron Popeil's like oeuvre of products. Like these things are crazy.
All right. Well, then I have something to do. Even me on the date that this gets released. If you're listening now, then this will make sense. I need to go back and listen to that one now. But yes, that's what I will be doing when it comes out. But future me is telling me to go back and listen to it now. Does that make sense?
Yes, there's
like
a lot of time travel on this show. It's happened before. When I recorded my episode with my friends Chris and Leah from the pub trivia experience, I recorded an episode with them before I actually met them in person because they were driving from Tampa up north, and so they were going to be passing through Jacksonville, so we had made a plan to meet. But the episode was coming out after I would have met them. So I was like, hey, it was really nice meeting you guys in the past.
That's great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, when you tape in advance and you pre-plan these things, which you have to, look, Playlist Wars, we try to tape 3 weeks in advance because we both have jobs outside of this. I wish that we could all just say, hey, we record an episode and the next day, here it is, everybody. But we've got families and lives and work and everything. So we want to make sure to stay consistent with our release schedule, that we have some buffer because life happens.
You need a buffer.
Yeah, we need the buffer. And that's what we did in the beginning. We recorded like madmen where both of our wives were going, what are you guys doing? We're like, we're building up a buffer so we don't have to panic anymore. And that's what we did right at the beginning of the show. And then it just kind of fell into place, which was, I have so much respect for the podcasts that go out there and record on a Monday night. And there it is on everyone's lap Tuesday morning.
I don't understand how that happens. Yeah, I don't get it either. But here, we totally do think alike. That's literally what my brother and I did. We had like 4 or 5 episodes recorded before we released the first one.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we did.
So that we wouldn't have to worry about it. Yeah.
And that's fantastic. I mean, there was one, because what's funny is we had recorded some episodes, and like when the Tom Petty episode came out, Gomez's voice was down here because he had some kind of a chest cold or something. And when 3 weeks later, when the episode came out, people were like, Gomez, I hope you feel better. And he's like, I feel fine. What are you talking about? I'm like, dude, the Tom Petty episode. He went, oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's really funny. I saw that on Twitter and I was like, I wasn't about to like poke the bear with it or anything, but I'm like, what's wrong with Gomez? Is he okay? Is he all right?
And by the time we got to the episode, it was well past him, and everyone's like, oh man, Gomez, you feeling okay? He's like, yeah, why? What's going on?
That's marvelous. Oh my God. So yeah, go back in time and tell your future self to listen to the Mr. Popeil episode that we put out the Friday before Labor Day, which is in the future for you talking to me now, but in the past for people listening to us now, because time is a circle.
Yes, and I just need to make sure I don't veer off like in Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, no, we don't want that to happen.
So I got to stay on the same timeline.
Stay on the same time
where this episode is, right?
Yes, exactly. That's how that's going to work. Do you want to move on to King of Suede?
Let's move on to King of Suede.
It's a parody of King of Pain by The Police, which is, again, I heard King of Suede before I heard King of Pain.
This is the one that was the opposite for me because my parents had synchronicity the day it came out, so I did know this song.
Okay.
So this was there's actually 2 songs, obviously 3, because if you count Eat It as well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
knew Beat It first. I knew King of Suede first, and I knew one other one first, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But
Gosh,
the one thing I want to say,
which one could that be?
yes, exactly. I actually want to know where Willie's Fun Arcade is. As a kid, I was big into video games, and this was the cassette that I would listen to when I would sit in my bedroom and play Pitfall 2 on the Atari 2600, really showing my age here. And I would play this tape over and over and over again, and I would just play Pitfall every Friday and Saturday night until I would like pass out with the tape playing. And when I heard Willie's Fun Arcade, I'm like, maybe that's a real place. Who knows? Because Weird Al has been known to put in real instances, and he's given out addresses. I heard you mention that he's given out his home address before on a Conan episode, and
I don't know. I don't know. It could be because he likes to drop like the names of all the addresses from the places that were on the set of UHF and things like that. So Willie's Fun Arcade, or it just could have been a name that sounded good. Either way,
and rhymed.
Yeah, and rhymed. Like, this is such an interesting song, though, because I can't picture the King of Suede in my head. Like, I'm not sure what this man looks like. I've got an idea of what his store is like. I know he's not great to his employees because his staff is underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of picture, I don't know if you remember, it was in the early 2000s, the sketch on Saturday Night Live where Jimmy Fallon was Leatherman, and he had he had the store where all he sold was leather. We only have leather. And he'd squeak around. I picture this store being like that, only suede.
Okay. I'm picturing a guy. He definitely has a 70s stash, no matter what.
Okay.
I'm picturing like one of the guys in the Beastie Boys Sabotage video.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Where it's kind of got the big 70s hair, the 70s mustache, almost could be a cop, but you don't really know for sure.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, that's what I picture when I hear the song.
Okay. I'm down with that. I'm
curious
Absolutely.
what people listening to this, who they think the King of Suede is.
Hey, commenters, commenting in the comments. What do you think the King of Suede looks like? As my brother would say, sound off below. Thanks. He puts on that affected voice when he does it too. He's like, tell me below. What do they say? Huh?
You do it well.
Thanks. Yeah.
And then my favorite lyric in this song, well, I never made it past the second grade.
grade.
It took all of my life for me to learn this trade.
Like, to sell discount suede clothing
at second grade. My kid just got out of second grade, so I'm picturing myself like, so this is where you would pick up the trade now.
Of the suede trade.
Yeah, the suede trade.
Yeah. The second grade trade suede.
The second grade suede trade. Say that 5 times fast.
Nope. I couldn't do it. Would not be prudent at this juncture.
That'd be a great name for a band. Who are you going to see? I'm going to see the second grade suede trade tonight.
Okay, commenters, somebody make a band and call it second grade suede trade. I will send you a sticker.
That's a hashtag right there.
Second grade suede trade. Yeah, when this comes out, I got to remember to do that. That's really funny. But yeah, I mean, it's a good style parody of the Police. It sounds a lot like the Police song.
His band is so good. We talked about this when you were on Playlist Wars. They channel the artist they're playing as well as play it. They don't just cover it so it sounds like a karaoke. They channel the production style. Everything is kind of funneled into recreating this band, and you need so much talent because when I think of myself as a guitarist, I have my style of playing, and if I'm going to play a song by the Police, it's going to sound like me playing a song by the Police.
Right.
I'm not as talented as any member of the police to try to pull off a police song. Somehow Weird Al's band is, and that just speaks volumes to how talented these guys are.
Yeah, they truly, truly are. And I mean, this isn't even the last time that they tackle the police sound, because they do the style parody on even worse, Velvet Elvis,
Mm-hmm.
which has grown on me. I didn't get it as a kid. Velvet Elvis
I didn't either. You're not alone.
slaps. Like, it's amazing. That's so good. If I had to put like King of Suede next to Velvet Elvis, as a kid, I would have taken King of Suede. Now, give me Velvet Elvis all day, every day.
It's an interesting take. I'm going to have to back them when we get off here too to see if I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay.
Right now I'm team King of Suede, but after that now I have to AB them.
Like, Velvet Elvis is so, it's so synchronicity. It's the
Mhm.
same like police like vibe, but I think it's more well done on Velvet Elvis. Velvet Elvis even sounds more policey to me, even though this is a direct parody of an actual police song. But I don't know.
Interesting.
We could debate this all night.
Yeah.
But we've got 3 tracks left on this album, so let's move on to track 9, another Weird Al original, or as I am going to call it now, a Weird Al original. That Boy Could Dance.
This is the song that channels the punky element of his debut album.
Uh-huh.
More than Midnight Star. This song could have very easily been on his self-titled album.
You're right. You are 100% correct. Yes.
It's got that same energy and that vibe. Not my favorite song on the album, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It's not towards the top of the list, though, for me.
I hear that. And yeah, I agree with you like 100%. It's fun. And when you're in the mood for it, it hits the spot. Okay, but this is one of those things. This is very much like ham. I have to be in the mood for it. I don't know why I went with ham as the food I have to be in the mood for, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to own that. Like,
okay,
if I want ham, then ham really hits the spot. But like 90% of the time, I don't want ham.
Yeah,
So.
and this one, I don't want to. This is going to come across wrong because I don't ever see Weird Al that way. But I feel like there's almost a mean spirit about this song that he normally doesn't bring. If it's mean spirit, it's usually self-deprecating or mean-spirited in a one more minute, you don't love me anymore breakup type spin. This one is actually mean-spirited against whoever that boy is.
Right.
Lyrically. So that to me is not as funny as other times where he channels that stuff inward.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. And it starts that way. But Jimmy the Geek wins in the end, right?
Yes.
Because he's super successful.
Right.
And so, yeah, it starts with, it starts by feeling meaner than you want Weird Al to be.
Yeah.
But then the one who the meanness was kind of projected onto is the victor at the end of the day.
Right. So I do like that, but like just if you could, I think you understand where I'm talking about, where that direction kind of comes from.
Mm-hmm.
The humor to me falls flatter just based on the fact that it's that kind of a story, which and again, we talk about this all the time on Playlist Wars. It's subjective. So it's just how it resonates with each person.
Yeah.
And for myself, having been the subject of a lot of ridicule growing up in grammar school and stuff, this one didn't really tickle my funny bone as much as the other songs did.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that completely. Yeah. I've got nothing to add because I couldn't agree more. I like that the nerd wins in the end, Jimmy the Geek, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about about Montana? Oh, he owns half of Montana. They all call him Diamond Jim. And what I wouldn't give if I could be just like him, like it's a complete flip around. It's nerd redemption.
Yes.
And
I love that fact of it. I love the ending. I'm not going to lie. Yes.
Okay. I just kind of had a moment where I just thought of this. This could be semi-autobiographical.
Hmm.
Meaning, like, Weird Al was clearly the kid that got made fun of. Okay? He had the glasses. He played the accordion. He called himself Weird Al so that basically as a preventative measure so that other people like in college wouldn't, because he went to school younger. And then he became successful.
It's very interesting. You might need to do a whole episode around this thought.
It literally, like, I didn't even plan this thought. Like, we talked through, I was just like, oh, that boy could dance, like, whatever. This just occurred to me, like, in this moment,
Wow.
like, right here, right now. This is why I don't
Future
plan.
episode, folks. Future episode.
Ah! Yeah, right? That boy could dance. The Weird Al story. Except that boy could play accordion.
Yes.
Ugh. Okay. Before I get to and my own thoughts about this, we've got The Ride of the Kaiser theme from Rocky 13, which is a parody of Eye of the Tiger by Survivor.
I will tell you, my wife and I went with my parents to see Rocky Balboa in the theaters. And it was in January. It was one of those movies that came out, I want to say, around Christmas time.
Yeah, I know that one.
Now, it was Rocky 6.
Mm-hmm.
But if you saw the movie Rocky Balboa,
I did.
you find out early in the movie he owns a restaurant. And I started elbowing my father in the ribs. And he's going, what? What? I'm like, Dad, Raya the Kaiser, fat and weak, what a disgrace. Remember he owned a delicatessen? Weird Al was pretty damn close in this plot. So the rest of the movie, my dad, every time they went back to the restaurant, my dad's like, it's the Raya or the Kaiser. Like, and I'm like, see, Weird Al predicted this back in 84.
Yeah, man. I swear, I think the man is a little bit psychic.
Little bit.
A little bit, you know, with that, because like, absolutely, it goes very against like I guess if I have a character type, like you wouldn't think that I would be a huge fan of the Rocky franchise. I love Rocky. Okay. I haven't seen any of the Creed iterations. I'm more like, give me Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, I must break you. And then, Rocky Balboa. I don't even count Rocky 5.
I was about to say Rocky 5 was interesting in the
I've
theater,
seen it.
but I will say that Rocky Balboa made up for it.
It did. It was well done. It felt like the logical next step for the franchise, and it was a nice nod to the original Rocky in that it felt like a more like serious like movie.
Yeah. 5 was off the rails.
Again, it exists, but it doesn't.
It's kind of like that Jaws 4: The Revenge, where it's around, but a lot of people go, they never made that, and then you're like, and you look it up, you go, oh wow, they did. Kind of like Police Academy, was it 6, where they went to Miami Beach or something? It was really bad. Not that 5 was any better, but
no. Some people just need to know when to stop. But yeah, this song is great in that there are certain food items that I can't eat or even look at without thinking of this song.
mm-hmm.
The least of which not being, rye or Kaiser, but also just like what, the tuna smells funny tonight.
Yep.
So
my favorite lyric in this one though is so brilliantly written that it goes over most people's heads, but it jumped out at me from the first time I heard it. Ain't gonna fly now, he's just taking up space. Sold his gloves, threw his eggs down the drain. Gonna fly now was
fly now.
Yeah, so ain't gonna fly now is so perfect of a comedic line in this song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't think people got that reference, or maybe they did, but I mean, as a kid I didn't, but as I saw the movies, I'm like, wait a minute. Wow. That was brilliant. And I've always thought, and now every time I hear it, I laugh extra hard at that line.
Yeah, I said it before and I'll say it again. Nothing is by accident. Even those little things that it takes you or I, the normal human being, years or decades to notice. are all there on purpose.
Mhm.
So freaking brilliant. Fat and weak. What a disgrace. He bought the neighborhood deli. um, but to go back to what we were saying about Weird Al being a little bit psychic, it also applies to Yoda. You know, he'll be playing this
Yes.
part till the end of time.
The time.
Well, like Mark Hamill, he's still Skywalker.
30 years, 40,
40
something years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hard time because I still talk about 2001 like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, no,
Like the 2000s to me is a decade that just disappeared. So I talk about the 1990 as if it was 20 years ago, even though it's 30.
I get it. I understand. I have to, yeah. It's a mental math exercise and kind of putting yourself in time and admitting how old you are. I mean, I had a student call me old yesterday. So,
Oh, well, I'll say this much. The 90s, when you say, let's put on some 90s music, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I say put on some 80s music, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Put on some 2010s.
oh, I couldn't.
There's no defining, unless you want to call auto-tune pop or dubstep. But to me, that doesn't define the generation the way that alternative defined the 90s and that new wave defined the 80s. Even 2000s, new metal defined that. So you had Disturbed, you had Papa Roach, you had all those bands.
Yeah, defined part of
Nickelback,
it for
Creed.
sure.
But 2010 and on, that decade really has no defining scene that popped out of it. I've always found that fascinating, and I don't think people think about it, which is why I feel like 2000 to 2020 almost feels mushed into one.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
And this has nothing to do with Weird Al, but I'm sorry.
No, it's a good salient point that I'm not gonna get rid of because it needs to be out there in the universe. So we're gonna let it be
Yeah.
out there. Well, we have one track left.
Yes.
It's the epic closing track of Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. And it is Nature Trail to Hell.
What are your thoughts on this one?
I love Nature Trail to Hell. I didn't always, okay? This is another one of those Weird Al songs that it took me time to appreciate for its campiness, its silliness, and its spot on portrayal of the gore horror genre. And the fact that it's coming this Christmas to a theater near you. I love his voice in this song too, because he goes into that low Weird Al place that he doesn't go often.
Right.
And it's enjoyable in a lot of ways. We did our episode about this for Halloween last year. So we talked quite a bit about Nature Trail to Hell, to the point where my brother actually takes his almost 3-year-old daughter on walks fairly frequently at a nature trail near the public library in the little mountain town that they live with. And it has a sign that says Nature Trail. And when I was up there visiting this past June, I went on one of these walks with him and we passed the sign that said Nature Trail. And my brother kind of looked back at me and he was like, to hell, like in his like deep voice. So it's in our brains. Yeah, it's fun. Is this the song you don't like so much?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like his darker humor is funnier in Christmas at Ground Zero or The Night Santa Claus Went Crazy. I feel like this one isn't as funny as those. So it kind of, yes, I get the campy part of it, but I think he was trying to go where Christmas at Ground Zero went and he wasn't there yet. So
yeah,
that's where I'm kind of like, I guess iffy would be the word. I don't hate it, but I don't laugh out loud as I do at the craziness that is Christmas at Ground Zero.
I get that. I 100%. I completely get that. Because you make a very good point there, you know, in that, like I said at the beginning, this is his first real album.
Mm-hmm.
The self-titled debut album ends with Mr. Frump and his iron lung. Okay.
That's a funny song.
which is a funny song.
But it's twisted, but
It's
funny.
twisted, but funny. This is also twisted, but funny because he's describing a movie that, what really is the plot point? You know, a homicidal maniac finds a Cub Scout troop and he murders 2 or 3 in every scene. Every scene. Like,
And you'll never see hideous effects like these again till we bring you Nature Trail to Hell Part 2.
right? Which speaks to the sequel culture of these horror movies in kind of like a brushing it off kind of way, but it's making that point. And really, I had one more thought. My brain is giving. It's been a long day. I started a new job and a new semester this week, so I don't know where my head is.
Congratulations on both.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
While you're thinking of it, I could tell you my favorite lyric in the song if you'd like.
Why don't you do that?
It's Jish Stay Natas. Or if you play it backwards at 3:10 in the song, Satan Eats Cheese Whiz.
Satan Eats Cheese Whiz. Like, the fact that he even thought to do that.
Brilliant. But that was also part of the lore at the time. Play a Zeppelin album backwards. That was all part of the, if you remember Ozzy, they were saying if you played Ozzy Osbourne, because there was the whole DCMA argument that got Frank Zappa and D. Snyder involved because they were saying that their albums were causing people to do bad,
Yeah.
So this was Weird Al kind of doing his commentary on it in a way, and I did find that part funny. Later in life, I didn't pick up on that joke until I was much older.
Oh yeah, no, you wouldn't. But you have it on vinyl. Can you play it backwards?
I don't have a record player in this room, but
no. I'm not asking you to do it now, but you could.
I have a Technics 1200, so I could just run my finger and run it in reverse. I think. I don't think this is the one I have.
I don't have it on vinyl, but I'm looking at my record player right now because I'm just like, I'm gonna start playing everything backwards. I wonder if Spandau Ballet has anything hidden in there.
But I am sure if we're too lazy to do that, we can go on YouTube and somebody has.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's there because when we were talking about, I remember Larry also has a backwards thing. Like, gee, you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yes.
So we played that on that episode. But yeah, this is that was in 3D, man. Do you have any final thoughts about it?
I am thankful for this album because it put him on the trajectory that would bring me a lot of my favorite comedy moments in life. And I am thankful that MTV embraced him. Because had it not, I don't know, as much as Dr. Demento was popular, I can't think of many artists that Dr. Demento has broken, like that I can think of as like he broke this person. And Weird Al is the one that he broke, but I don't know if without MTV, if Weird Al would have been as big as he is. So I'm thankful for this album, if that makes sense.
It makes complete sense, and I think you're absolutely correct. I have no counterpoint to make to anything that you said because I'm sure you're right. We needed MTV to bring Weird Al to the masses and to take they didn't have a lot of videos to choose from at the beginning, and like he made some good ones, and they're like, well, we'll put this weird guy on, and
yeah.
Then they let him do Al TV and kind of run the show for a little bit here and there.
That was some of my favorite moments in childhood, videotaping that and watch the interviews that he would just record his questions were just brilliant. I love those so much.
I know.
You got something on your face.
He's so great. Yeah. So I think we're going to wrap up in 3D with that. I know you introduced your show, Playlist Wars, and what you do at the beginning, but here at the end, I will put links in the description to this episode. But if you want to tell the folks where they can find you, all that stuff, feel free to do so.
Awesome. We are available at playlistwarspodcast.com. We're available on all fine podcasting platforms, including the unfine ones as well. You can also find us on YouTube, even though nobody else does. We have the audio versions of our podcast up on YouTube because some people have, they just want to listen at work and they have YouTube open. So there's an option there. We are also available and active on Twitter at Playlist Wars, Instagram at Playlist Wars Podcast, and Facebook, which we're on there. People follow us, but Facebook they want us to pay to get people to see it. So Twitter and Instagram are the best places to get in touch with us. But if you respond to us on Facebook, we'll be like, oh my God, somebody responded. Let's
Yeah. I know the feeling. Twitter's the best place for podcasts.
We have such I don't even want to, Gomez and I call it like the pod fam because we have met so many amazing people through this. It Rocks, great song. I feel like, and it's funny because none of us have, only in small instances have we met other podcasters. Gomez and I grew up with Chris from the Film Exiles. So when he's been on the show, that's like it's like a reunion for us because we're all friends. But these other shows of people that we just met, we still feel like you guys are all our friends now. We feel like we've known you guys for years from listening to the show and interacting with you on Twitter all the time. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, it's so cool. And I love that you mentioned the Great Song Podcast and It Rocks, because if you haven't already, 2 weeks ago, you get to hear It Rocks talk with me in a very similar fashion about the Alapalooza album.
So this is fast forward again into the future and then look back 2 weeks, correct?
Correct.
For me?
For
okay,
you.
So I can't go back 2 weeks from now. I got to go into the future and then go back 2 weeks.
Yes.
Check. Got it.
That's what it is. So if we are talking about how today, the episode that we are talking on right now is dropping on September 24th, then you want to go back to September 10th and listen to me talk with It Rocks, because we talked about the Alapalooza album. And this is another little nugget for those of you that may be listening to this because you're fans of Playlist Wars but haven't checked that episode out yet. Casey from It Rocks, he had a beer lined up for every song on the album.
Really?
And he's a big, tall guy, so like he could handle it. We're like 3/4 of the way through the album, and I was just like, "You ate today, right? Like you ate food," because we talked about a song for a minute. He's like, "All right, next one." I'm like, "Holy crap, dude!"
Siphoning. Well, Casey's going to be on our show in the future because we are doing 80s wrestling theme songs with Casey, which is going to be awesome. And then we have this special guest, Lauren Carey, coming back on Playlist Wars to do 80s music divas, which I'm very excited about.
My 80s ladies.
When I think about female music, I don't think there's a better decade than the 80s for female rock and female pop. Like, at least maybe it's because it's where I grew up, but man, the 80s I'm having such a hard time.
I know.
Putting this list together because there are so many songs I want to include. It's
hard to narrow it down. It really, truly is. I'm just going to have to kind of go with I had an easier time making a Weird Al playlist than this, but I guess, stay tuned for that too, people. There's so much good stuff coming out, but I guess I'm going to put a pin in this episode because we've talked long enough. People's attention spans can't be that long. And so, Brian, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Anytime you guys want to come back on Playlist Wars, the door is always open. You guys are fantastic. We love what you do here, and we are truly honored and humbled to be your friend and be part of the group that we have on Twitter. It is such an awesome experience talking to you guys all the time. I love the passion and energy you guys bring to Beard Al, and thank you for putting a smile on my face on days that maybe a smile wouldn't be there normally. So you guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, right back at you. I'm going to ditto all of that because I can't even coherently think about it. But yeah, folks, check out Playlist Wars. It's great. It was a road trip saver for me. I will tell you that much. driving through the night from Florida up to Pennsylvania, I binged a lot of your back catalog and kept me awake, alert, and focused.
I was about to say, if you said I crashed my car into a ditch because I fell asleep, that would not be the review we were looking for.
Nope. The exact opposite, my friend. So it has what I like to call my Lauren endorsement.
Thank you very much.
And with that, I'm going to thank you all for listening to this very special episode of the Beard All Podcast. And we will come at you again next time, people. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.